I was on the march, and it's the first march I've been on, and I wouldn't hesitate now to go on any other marches. The Free Tommy March was nothing but heart pumping. I was proud to be British, proud to be English. Yeah, there was a bit of trouble, not surprising. People drinking all day, the police turning out in force, a bit of pushing and shoving. It was always going to be a bit likely to kick off. Having said that, I've never seen such a variety of individuals, from children to people with dogs, people in wheelchairs, people on walking sticks, the young, the old, ex-military, black, white, Indian, Asian, even the tourists were taking part. Um, I was asked a number of times by tourists, "What's this all about?" And I took my time and effort to explain to them that it was about Tommy Robinson and how he had been arrested, found guilty, charged, sentenced, and in prison within a number of hours. Free speech is at stake here. Our ability to speak our minds. This great nation, and it's still a great nation, it's just it's in limbo currently. The great side of it's been put on the back burner. But as individuals, we can make a difference. Do I see trouble in the horizons? I do, if the British government don't wake up. If the British government feel that they can ignore this, and that somehow it will just die off, go cold, forget about. When you've got people around the world reacting to what's going on in this country, there's something wrong. And you're not telling me that the advisors to the politicians are not pointing this out. Anne-Marie Walters is doing a great job. My only concern on that front is it takes time. It really does take time. And I think that, people in UKIP, some of the other parties, they all need to bang their heads together and come up with an agreement that they'll join forces. That's the way to fast track this. Can I see civil unrest? Yeah, of course I can. When people get frustrated, they get angry. When they get angry and there's no answers, they turn to violence. It's not a new thing. We had the poll tax riots. We had the riots in Tottenham, which were replicated throughout the country. Those that you are old enough to remember, there was the riots for the coalfields. That went on for over a year. We are resilient. And as I've said to people that have watched my videos before, I may not look it, but I'm actually terminally ill with cancer. I have a brain tumour, but I suffer excessively with anxiety attacks, panic attacks. I very rarely go out of the house. So for me to go to London and to be surrounded by 20,000 people was a bit of a push. But I felt so strongly about it that that's what I did. I went there, I chanted away, I came back, I virtually had no voice, and I was proud to do so. Tommy has given so much for our country. For someone that's just over 5 foot nothing virtually, he stands tall in any crowd. I'd love to meet the guy one day. I'd love to tell him my story and listen to his. I made the mistake once of visiting a family member who lives in Leagrave, which is just a little village outside of Luton, and I took a wrong turning and ended up going through Bury Park. And this was a number of years ago. We're probably talking 15 years ago. And I was blown away then. So I can't imagine what Bury Park is like now. And I've seen Tommy, running the gauntlet, driving through it, and I've seen him being attacked in his own car. we've all seen it. We've seen what happened outside McDonald's. We've seen how people have got a bounty on his head, and yet this guy just keeps going. I would love to know where we are with regards to the legal side of things, whether they need more money, whether the process has started, whether there's light at the end of the tunnel. Excuse me, whether there's light at the end of the tunnel. But, you know, I've started to speak out. I've caused a bit of trouble in my family. One or two people that have befriended me, so be it. It's the old saying, I might not agree with what you say, but I will defend it to my death. So these people, if they don't agree with what I'm saying, if they really feel that strongly that they have to block me, probably weren't worth having on my list of friends in the first place. I know in my heart of hearts I'm not racist in the slightest. I have many multicultural friends. I have many international friends. I love culture. I love the mix of culture. But the one thing I wouldn't do is try and dilute it with my own. If I go abroad, I want to see what the local culture is. I want to take part in their activities. I do struggle a little bit with the food, if I'm to be perfectly honest. But the actual culture, the history, the architecture, you know, that's why I go abroad. I don't go abroad for the sun. I go abroad to envelop myself in history and the culture of other countries. So why would I try and enforce my way on other countries? Yeah, there's a bit of guilt with us and Christianity in the past, no question about that. But that's in the past, you know, it's hundreds of years ago. These people, Islam I'm talking about, the radical Islams are trying to bring in Sharia law into our country. It makes no sense. It won't work. The only way it will work is if they totally take over the country. And mathematically at the moment, if we allow it to continue at the rate it's continuing, it's a mathematical certainty. But it's not too late. We can stop it. We're watching some of the countries, Italy, Spain, are now starting to sit up and say, no. Today on the news, they've turned a boat around and said, no, we're not taking in anymore. We have to stand up, be counted, and make our voices heard. So I plead with you, take the next step. Share my video, but make your own. Speak to people. Even if they don't want to listen, speak to people. Let them understand what's going on. Let them understand that the mainstream media isn't covering it because they've got an agenda. They don't want people to hear. We've got the 3 boys that were run down, and the parents doing what they can for the truth to come out. I'm sure this is happening all over the country. I'm sure it's a way of keeping down the number of actual terrorist attacks to an absolute minimum, because there would be an outcry. There would be a total uprising against the way these things are being swept under the carpet. But the truth will come out. The truth will come out. It always does. And I want to be on the right side. And I know I'm on the right side. And I know Tommy Robinson is on the right side. He's not far right. I'm not far right. I don't even class myself. I used to be a conservative, but I think that's a waste of time now. I believe in hard work. I believe you get what you reap. You reap what you sow, I should say. So I believe in treating others how you wish to be treated, and I think a bit of respect and courtesy goes a long way. So on that note, I wish you all well. Please watch my videos and pass them on, share them. It's all new to me. Not the best. I'm not editing. I'm not even doing my hair. I've just noticed that. So do what you got to do. Keep the fight. And power to the people. Cheers. Bye.